finally arrived in Rome. Where should we go first?
How about the Colosseum? I hear such great things about it.
That's a great idea, Mom.
This way. Wow, this is beautiful.
I know, I can't even make this out of Legos. Why do you think it was built in the first place?
Ciao, amiche, mi chiamo Alessandra.
Yeah, Alessandra, we speak English.
Great, so do I. So what brings you guys here today?
We are on vacation and decided to visit Rome.
Great, Rome's the best city in Italy.
I have a question.
Shoot, kid.
Why was this building built?
Oh, this isn't just a building, this is the Colosseum. The construction of this building started in 70 AD and lasted until 82 AD, and then the opening ceremonies took place. It wasn't just built for entertainment, it also served a political purpose. It also served a political purpose. During the time that the Colosseum was built, there were other problems such as oligarchy, nepotism, and corruption in the Senate and church.
Cool, so was this entertainment like video games and stuff?
Not at all, actually. It was more like gladiator and wild animal fights. One of the purposes of the Colosseum was to utilize and showcase the latest Roman engineering and building techniques. There was a bunch of tunnels under the arena containing 32 animal pits and lift systems to help the gladiators, animals, prisoners, and stage scenery in and out of the arena really quickly.
People found that entertaining?
Well, the purpose of watching the weak gladiators was getting destroyed was to commemorate the death and the afterlife, and it was more of a ritual thing than an entertainment thing, but over time, Romans became very interested in it, and then it became more of an entertainment.
What about the poor animals?
Actually, that was another reason why the Colosseum was built. The Romans used exotic wild animals from different corners of the Roman Empire to convey the extent of Romans' conquest over the countries.
I see, but how did everyone fit? It looks so tiny.
You're asking some good questions. The Colosseum actually used to be much, much bigger until an earthquake in 1349 AD hit, and that ruined most of the Colosseum, but some of it was left standing. It used to be able to seat up to 80,000 Romans, each with an unobstructed view so they could see the whole arena, and to create a diversion between unruly plebs. For the fighting arena, it covered 7.5 acres. It had to be really big because another reason why the Colosseum was built was to stage reconstructions of famous Roman battle victories, including sea battles, requiring the arena to be completely flooded, everything underwater. And this was encouraging Roman patriotism.
80,000 people? How did everyone enter?
There was actually 76 separate entrances, so this way no one will, interrupt the gladiators.
What did the fights last for?
Well, the gladiator combat lasted until about 435 AD, and the wild animal hunts continued until a little past the 6th century.
What was it used for when the fights ended?
In the 13th century, an Italian family named Frangipani took possession over it, and it made it its own castle and fort kind of thing, right? And then it wasn't until 1244th century when the Pope and the Catholic Church took over, and then they concentrated it into the Passion of Christ, and the Stations of the Cross were installed.
Wow, why is it still up? It's so old.
Well, it's a big part of the Italian culture, and it shows us where we came from and the ancient history of Rome. It's also one of the most beautiful buildings of Rome's history.
Well, okay. Thanks for all your help. I always heard people talking about the Colosseum, but I never knew what exactly it was.
Anytime. Enjoy the rest of your trip.
Thank you very much. Do you have any other suggestions of where we can go?
I would definitely check out the Pantheon. It's got a great history, and the tour guide seems pretty cool, too.
Great. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. I hope you have a great time in Rome. Ciao.
Ciao.
Wow, Mom, this place is huge.
See, the Pantheon is 158 feet tall and stood as the largest dome ever until Brunelleschi's dome at the Florence Cathedral in 1420 to 1436.
Wow, you seem to know a lot about the Pantheon. Do you think you could show us around?
Of course, let's get started. The Pantheon was originally built in 25 to 27 BC by Marcus Agrippa as a temple to all of the gods of ancient Rome and rebuilt by Emperor Hadrian in 126 AD.
What's that random hole in the ceiling?
The only problem, though, is when it rained, all water got in, and that was a huge problem for them.
If this is so old, why is it in such great condition?
Well, the Pantheon is the only Roman building that is still completely intact. Also, its brick walls and large columns helped the building survive 20 centuries of invasion, erosion, and decay.
The interior is so appealing.
Yes, it has very detailed paintings, statues, and artwork all over the walls. The doors are even made out of bronze.
So what's the purpose of the Pantheon today?
The Pantheon today contains the tombs of the famous artist Raphael and several Italian kings. The tourists just love it. This is one of the main attractions in Italy.
Thank you so much for your help today. We learned so much about the Pantheon and everything else in this area.
No problem, it was my pleasure. Come back soon.
Ciao!
Mom, this is such a great trip. Can we go again next year?
If you behave yourself, I will bring you back again and get good grades in
Okay.
Italian class.
Okay.